What's up, everybody? JVille Sports here with my sports betting picks video, college football edition. It is Friday night, September the 27th. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and each and every time I put out a video. We have made it to week number 5 of the college football season. Hope you guys have had a good week so far, but it's time for another monster Saturday. We have action all over the place, a bunch of different sports. So I have a bunch of picks for you to get you guys to the window this Saturday, September the 28th. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm JVille. I give out sports betting tips. And what I like to do each and every Saturday is give you guys a bunch of different plays that I am looking at. And a fun way for me to do that is I throw it all together into a long shot parlay, and we'll see if I can hit it. But the purpose of the long shot parlay is just to give you guys a bunch of different plays that I like I said. And we are doing very well to start the season. We're going to keep it going. So what we'll do is we'll recap what we did last week, and then we'll get into this week's. Keep it short and sweet. So let me go ahead and pull up last week's long shot parlay. We did not hit the long shot, but another good attempt, another week full of some winners. Let's run through it really quickly. We had one CFL play. We had Edmonton. They did not come through for us. We had 3 MLB plays, the Braves, Astros, and Padres. All these games took place last Saturday, and we went 3-0 with our MLB plays. None this week. There are a few games that I like, but I did not include them in this week's long shot parlay. If you are a follower of the village, if you receive my daily newsletter, I'll definitely have some MLB picks sent your way. If you're not, go to jvillesportspicks.com to sign up. And then into the college football picks, we had Arkansas plus the 3. They were outright winners. We had Oklahoma State also plus the 3 at home. They pushed against Utah. We were lucky to get that push. They came from behind to get that. Vanderbilt plus 21. They almost won that game outright. Overtime against top 10 Missouri. We had that one nailed, taking Vanderbilt there. TCU -1. Offense showed up. Defense did not. SMU just could not be stopped. TCU -1 did not come through. East Carolina plus 10. This game was wonky. There was a super long delay. I didn't even know that they were going to, if they were going to play the game or not. They ended up playing. East Carolina did stay close. They lost by 11, so we missed that one by 1 point. 1 point for the push. Clemson, I didn't have another spread that I really loved at the time, so I threw Clemson on there as a surefire money line, and they dominated last week. So we will take that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 record, and we'll move that into this week's. We'll add that to our total. So that's what it's all about, just giving you guys a bunch of different winners. I throw it all into a long shot parlay. I hope I hit the long shot parlay, but it's just more about you guys and more about me giving you guys some winners. If you're on the same side as a game that I'm looking at, give you some extra confidence. If you're on the opposite side, one of us is going to be wrong, but at least if I'm giving out some plays that you're already looking at, leaning towards, like I said, it gives you that extra boost. So that's the goal of the video. So let's go ahead and get into this week's long shot parlay. Like I mentioned, it's going to be all college football, although there are some MLB games that I like. There are some UFC fight picks that I like as well. Soccer picks also, but those are super early in the morning. But for the long shot, let's just keep it college football. I have 8 plays for you guys, and let's go ahead and run through them. It's already late. I'm not going to make this a super long video. I'll just go ahead and quick hit these games, and we will keep it moving like always. So I'll just go ahead and throw it up on the screen here. Starting with Kansas State -4. So Oklahoma State's on the road taking on Kansas State. So Oklahoma State, I mentioned them earlier. We had them last week at home against Utah. A very, very disappointing performance. We were lucky, like I said, to get that push with the +3, but they lose to Utah. Utah with the backup quarterback. Now this Oklahoma State team travels on the road to take on Kansas State. They were a mess themselves. They were on the road taking on BYU. They had 3 turnovers. They gave up a a punt return, 90-yard punt return for a touchdown. When you're on the road like that and mistakes happen, it's easy for the game to snowball, and that's exactly what happened. So I don't take a whole lot from that game. They're back at home now against this Oklahoma State team, not playing well. I think this is a good matchup for Kansas State to get back on track, so I'm going to take them minus the 4. Next, we have Indiana minus the 6. Indiana has looked very impressive so far this year. You do have to look at their competition. Not much to speak of, although they dominated UCLA on the road, and UCLA had a pretty good performance last week against LSU on the road, so maybe that's a little more impressive than originally thought. But Maryland, this is definitely going to be a big test for Indiana. We'll see if they continue their dominant ways. Until I see otherwise, I'm going to stick with them. So give me Indiana minus 6 at home. UConn minus 5, another home team taking on Buffalo. Buffalo playing. They had a good game last week. They came from behind, beat Northern Illinois, a ranked Northern Illinois team in overtime. Big win for Buffalo. Now they have to pick themselves back up again, travel on the road for a second straight week to take on UConn. UConn playing very well. They destroyed FAU last week at home. Another home game back-to-back for them. I just think UConn's going to be ready for Buffalo. Like I said, after that big win last week, it's hard for these college players to pick themselves back up for another week, especially doing it on the road. So give me UConn minus the 5 at home to keep it rolling. For our fourth play, we are sticking with another home team. You can see a little theme here. Auburn minus the 1. Don't love this number because it did move. You could have got Auburn plus 3 maybe earlier in the week, but just so much injuries with this Oklahoma team. They got beat pretty bad against Tennessee last week. They never had a chance to win that game, although the score didn't really reflect a massive blowout. But Auburn, they just have a way of winning. Every year they have a couple upsets at home. Tough place to play. Oklahoma, like I mentioned, injuries all over the place. It's a little bit of an overrated team. Give me Auburn at home. This is also Oklahoma's first true road game of the season. And like I said, with the injuries, they're not really playing well. Give me the home team. I'll take Auburn minus the 1 to get the W at home. Let's keep it moving here. Our first road team is going to be Arkansas plus the 7. I bought that up a little bit against A&M. Quarterback issues with A&M and some injuries there. But we were on Arkansas last week. They got us home with the W. And if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to ride with Arkansas. I like the way they're playing this season. I like them to keep it going here. And I think they can keep this game close, if not win it outright on the road. So give me Arkansas plus the 7. Next, we are going to go with back to the home teams, Miami of Ohio, minus 17. So Miami is an 0-3 team. This is a pretty big spread to be taken with a winless team, but UMass is just that bad. Miami, tough schedule to start the season. They were on the road in the first game of the year, taking on Northwestern. Northwestern's not the best team, but it's still a step in class for Miami of Ohio. Then they played a really good Cincinnati team and held their own against them, and then they got dominated by Notre Dame. So they played 3 good teams. UMass just got their first win against an FCS opponent. This team is no good. Miami, winless team. I think they let out their frustrations here. I think they're going to blow out UMass at home. Next, we have the game of the day, Georgia and Alabama. 2 top 5 teams going at it once again. And it's just the same old story here with Georgia. Another dominant defense. I don't think they've given up a touchdown yet this year. So we'll see if they can continue that. Not likely. Alabama, they're just a big play offense, and I don't think they're going to be hitting these big plays against this Georgia defense. They're going to have to kind of nickel and dime their way down the field, and that just plays into Georgia's hands. Georgia, offensively, they have not looked great so far this year. So I know this Georgia defense is going to play. Alabama's defense has also looked really good. I think it's just going to be a defensive battle here. 2 offenses trying not to make mistakes, and I think that's just what's going to happen. I like a lower scoring game in this one, so give me the under 51. It's a low total for college, especially with 2 top 10 teams, 2 top 5 teams, but I think the defenses are just that good right now, and the offenses, I don't see them getting a lot of big plays in this one. So give me Georgia, Alabama under 51. And then last but not least, our nightcap, Cincinnati and Texas Tech. Quite the opposite game. I think we will see a lot of scoring in this one. Like I mentioned, I like the Cincinnati team. I watched a lot of their game last week against Houston. Complete domination. They beat Houston 34-0. Didn't give up any points at all. Both these teams have good offenses. Texas Tech can score with the best of them. But the one separation with these two teams is the defense. Cincinnati has a defense. Texas A&M, or Texas Tech, I should say, does not. The edge here obviously is Texas Tech, a night game at home. It's going to be a tough environment for Cincinnati. But defense travels. I think the defense shows up, and I think they can hang around, keep this game close. We don't need them to win with +4, but I do think they can steal this one. So give me Cincinnati +4 on the road against Texas Tech. And just like that, that is our 8 plays, our 8 picks for you guys. If you like any of these, pluck out your favorites, do some straight bets. I definitely don't recommend doing this long shot parlay. I am throwing it in there. As you can see, 100 will pay over 10,000. I'm going to give it a shot. I like all these plays. Run through it really quickly again. Kansas State -4 at home against OK State. Indiana -6 at home against Maryland. UConn -5 at home against Buffalo. Auburn -1 at home against Oklahoma. Arkansas +7 on the road against A&M. And Miami of Ohio -17 at home against UMass. Georgia, Alabama under 51. Cincinnati +4 on the road against Texas Tech. That is our 8 plays for you guys, week 5 of the college football season. If you want my best bets for Saturday, my best bets in college football, my best bets in the MLB, may or may not have some UFC plays. There are some that I like, but it's always a fully loaded Saturday. There'll be plenty of plays. JVilleSportsPicks.com is where to go to sign up, and you'll receive all of my best bets each and every day sent to your email box. Simple as that. So we'll go ahead and root on these 8 teams and see if I can hit this long shot. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a lot of success this Saturday. Good luck with all of your plays, and I will see you guys soon for my NFL video. Good luck.